Listen, what I'm about to show you is going to flip everything you thought you knew about developing quarterbacks in the NFL. Because Tom Brady, the guy who's seen every defensive scheme, every dirty trick, every coaching disaster imaginable, just completely lost it. And when I say lost it, I mean the kind of meltdown that makes you question if you're watching the same ice-cold legend who won 7 Super Bowls. This wasn't about a bad play call or a missed field goal. This was about Kevin Stefanski doing something so fundamentally wrong, so against everything football stands for, that even Brady couldn't keep his composure. And it all started because Shedeur Sanders expose the whole ugly truth. You see, everyone assumes NFL teams know how to develop quarterbacks. Like it's some universal playbook every franchise follows. But here's the reality nobody wants to admit. Most of these coaches have absolutely no clue what they're doing. Brady said it himself, you can rank quarterbacks 1 to 32, right? But what about offensive coordinators? What about quarterback coaches? If you end up with the 32nd ranked coordinator or the worst quarterback coach in the league, how's your young quarterback supposed to develop at the same level as the guy working with the best coach in the business? He's not. It's impossible. And that's exactly what happened in Cleveland. The Browns were supposed to be different this time. Fresh start, loaded roster, championship defense, and a shiny new quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. The kid had everything. Pedigree, swagger, arm talent that made scouts weep. Cleveland finally had hope, which in that city usually means heartbreak is right around the corner. But this time felt different, until it wasn't, because Shedeur wasn't Kevin Stefanski's pick. The general manager wanted him. The front office wanted him, but Stefanski, he wanted nothing to do with him. And if there's one thing NFL coaches hate more than losing, it's being told who their quarterback should be. So what did Stefanski do? He buried him. Not literally, but might as well have been. Week after week, excuse after excuse. Back tightness. Still learning the playbook. We're being cautious with his development. Meanwhile, Shedeur's out there in pregame warm-ups, throwing absolute lasers, looking healthier than half the starting lineup, and everyone in that stadium knew the truth. The trainers knew, the players knew, even the hot dog vendors knew. This wasn't about health or development. This was about ego. This was about a coach protecting his pride instead of putting his team in the best position to win. And that's when Brady started paying attention. He's watching game film, seeing Dylan Gabriel out there looking lost, throwing 1 touchdown against 2 interceptions, moving the offense like it's stuck in quicksand. Brady's seen enough bad quarterback play in his life, but this was different. This wasn't a rebuild. This was a cover-up. Week after week, Gabriel's getting all the reps while Shedeur's on the sideline polishing helmets like he's in witness protection. Brady couldn't believe what he was watching. When he was 23 years old, he was taking hits from linebackers who smelled like regret and wanted his head on a platter. That's how you learn. That's how you develop. But Stefanski had a different philosophy. Protect the narrative at all costs. The fans started losing their minds. Social media exploded. Hashtags everywhere. Free Shedeur. Let the kid cook. Every single post, every comment, every share was another shot at Stefanski's so-called master plan. Local Cleveland media went relentless. They called Shedeur entitled, distracted, slow to learn, not getting practice reps. But what if I told you none of that had anything to do with football? This went way deeper. Tom Brady came out on Colin Cowherd's show and basically called out the entire Browns organization without saying their name. He talked about leadership, about trust, about giving young quarterbacks real opportunities, and everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. Because here's the thing, Brady knows what a next man up moment can do. Drew Bledsoe goes down, some 6th round, nobody steps in, and suddenly you've got the greatest dynasty in NFL history. Brady turned that injury into a religion, so when he sees Shedeur wasting away while the Browns keep losing these painful 13-10 games where the offense looks like it's moving through cement, he can't stay quiet. He goes on national television and drops bombs disguised as quarterback philosophy. Play the young guy, give him the chance. Stop pretending you're developing someone when you're really just protecting your job. Stefanski stood there every week with the same blank expression, same tired answers. Our focus is where we are right now. We're sticking with our plan. Classic coach speak, for we have no idea what we're doing, but please stop asking questions. Meanwhile, Brady's at home watching this disaster unfold like it's a documentary about how to destroy a franchise in real time. Every screen pass on 3rd and 11, every check down for 2 yards, every 3 and out made his blood boil. This wasn't just bad football, this was disrespectful to everything Brady built his career on: precision, preparation, accountability. And now he's watching the Browns run their offense like it's amateur hour at the improv club. But here's where it gets really ugly. This wasn't incompetence. This was politics. If Shedeur stepped on that field and lit it up, Stefanski's entire narrative would collapse overnight. All those press conferences about trusting the process, gone. All that talk about Gabriel needing time, shredded. The coach would look like the guy who benched his most talented player just to protect his fragile ego. And in NFL circles, that's career suicide. So instead of facing that reality, Stefanski did what insecure leaders always do. He doubled down. He wrapped himself in excuses, hid behind systems, and prayed nobody would notice. Inside the Browns locker room, the tension was suffocating. The defense was exhausted from dragging the offense up and down the field, while the scoreboard barely hit double digits. Receivers started giving Gabriel side-eye like, "Bro, can you throw it past 10 yards?" The offensive coordinator looked like he needed therapy after every series. And through all this chaos, Shedeur stayed calm. Too calm. Dangerously calm. Because here's what people don't understand about Shedeur Sanders. Pressure doesn't break him. It sharpens him. This is a kid who's been under spotlight since high school. Coached by a Hall of Fame father. Built to perform when everyone else panics. Cameras. Critics. Chaos. That's his comfort zone. While Cleveland was melting down, Shedeur was plotting in silence. Liking strategic posts on social media, showing up early to practice, sending subtle signals to the locker room. "I'm ready when it's time." And slowly the energy shifted. Teammates started whispering, "Why isn't he playing?" The mutiny was brewing. Players were saying it out loud now. The Browns offense looked like it was competing for most punts in a single half. Gabriel was missing wide open throws. Receivers were losing their composure. By halftime, fans were already booing like it was tradition. Up in the broadcast booth, Brady was watching every painful second like performance art. You could see him shaking his head, whispering under his breath. His expression said everything. Every check down, every wasted play, every missed opportunity. Brady felt it personally. And then it happened. Fourth quarter, Browns down double digits, and the crowd erupted. The chant was so loud the stadium cameras shook. Shedeur, Shedeur, Shedeur. Stefanski, trapped in his own pride, finally cracked. He motioned for Shedeur to go in. The place went nuclear. Brady leaned forward, that sly grin spreading across his face. He knew what was about to happen. Shedeur trotted onto the field, calm as ever. Not a blink, not a shake. First play, 20-yard laser. Second play, 40-yard dime on the sideline. Third play, touchdown. Boom. The crowd went absolutely insane. Brady nearly jumped out of his chair, fists in the air like he was back in Foxborough. And Stefanski? The man looked haunted, pale, speechless, watching his coaching credibility evaporate in real time. From that moment, everything flipped. Cleveland wasn't a tragedy anymore. It was a revolution. Shedeur commanded that offense like he'd been running it all season. Receivers lit up. The defense finally exhaled. The whole city, a city that's endured decades of heartbreak, suddenly had something real to believe in again. And the wildest part? It all happened the second the coach finally got out of the way. That's what made Brady's reaction so legendary. He didn't need words. His face said it all. That smug little smirk screamed, "Told you so." But just when Cleveland looked like they might turn the page, the story took its wildest twist yet. While Shedeur was out there saving the season with pure talent, Stefanski was quietly falling apart. Every touchdown Shedeur threw made the coach look worse. Every cheer for the rookie sounded like a boo for him. Press conferences got brutal. Reporters pressed him like courtroom lawyers. "Coach, why did it take this long?" Sports shows replayed his bad calls like crime scene footage. In 1 week, Stefanski went from respected head coach to the league's biggest cautionary tale. Cleveland, being Cleveland, absolutely ate it up. They loved chaos almost as much as they loved comebacks. And now they had both. The city that spent decades in football misery suddenly had a new obsession, watching their coach implode while their rookie quarterback became a hero. The whole football world was laughing, not just at the Browns, but at the absurd beauty of it all. Brady, the man who built his legacy on discipline and control, had accidentally become the spiritual leader of Cleveland's rebellion. His on-air rants about accountability sparked a quarterback revolution. Stefanski's stubbornness became the NFL's favorite meme, and Shedeur didn't even need to brag. His play said everything. Every completion was revenge served warm. By the time the season hit its final stretch, the Browns were unrecognizable. The offense had swagger. Fans were back in love. Cameras couldn't get enough of Shedeur's calm, confident smirk. It was movie-level drama. The doubted rookie, the crumbling coach, and the legend who called it from miles away. Somewhere in his next broadcast, Brady let out that subtle, knowing grin, the kind that says you're welcome, Cleveland. But Cleveland being Cleveland couldn't handle success for long. Just when wins started stacking and the city started believing, the politics crawled back. Stefanski tried spinning the story again, talking about trusting the process and building culture, but nobody was buying it anymore. The front office started leaking whispers about philosophical differences. Fans wanted him gone. Players could barely look at him. Through it all, Shedeur just kept throwing. Calm, locked in, unstoppable. He became the eye of the Cleveland Hurricane. Then came the grand finale. Playoff hopes on the line. Primetime matchup on national TV against their biggest rival. The buildup felt biblical. Years of pain, pride, and redemption crashing into one night. When the team ran onto the field, the crowd didn't chant Browns. They chanted Shedeur. Cleveland had flipped forever. Then came the fallout, the chaos that follows every Cleveland fairy tale. Reports of locker room tension, front office drama, whispers that Stefanski had lost the team entirely. The meltdown went nuclear, but in that storm, Cleveland learned the lesson Brady had been preaching from the start. Greatness doesn't wait for permission. That's the beautiful irony of it all. The saga that started with a coach refusing to play his quarterback ended with that same quarterback being the reason he got fired. Shedeur didn't need revenge speeches or dramatic interviews. His game did the talking. Every throw, every drive, every win was a reminder that you can't bury talent built for the spotlight. Brady didn't even have to rub it in. His philosophy had already won. Cleveland did what they always do. They burned it all down just to rise from the ashes. But this time, something beautiful rose up. Shedeur Sanders didn't just play football. He rewrote the Browns story right in front of the world. He took chaos and turned it into destiny. Cleveland collapsed in the most Cleveland way possible. Loud, messy, unforgettable. It's almost poetic. The franchise that spent decades begging for a savior finally found one the moment they stopped trying to control him. The man who tried to bury him ended up buried by his own pride. That's not just football. That's karma wearing cleats. That's Cleveland. Heartbreak, hope, and rebirth all in one wild ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you felt that story.